Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. And first of all, let us see important topics of the day, and later on we are going to analyze each and every topic from prelims and as well as mains point of view. And at last I'll be giving you prelims practice questions guys. So please don't skip this video anywhere. Please do watch until last so that you'll be getting lots of insights regarding how to prepare current affairs. Okay, let us see the topics. The first topic it is about River Munneru. There is one image which appeared in our newspaper related to this river. And as I said, rivers are very important. You may get a prelims based question from this area. You have to see about some basic facts related to this River Munneru. And it is important from GS paper 1 under geography. And next topic is India-Egypt discuss plan to boost bilateral defense cooperation. Yes, India and Egypt, they are conducting a meeting in Cairo. In that meet, we came up with certain agreements. Here we have to see like how we are cooperating with Egypt and what are the areas of cooperation between India and Egypt. This topic is important from your international relations from GS paper 2. And next topic it is rights body opposes notification allowing UAPA powers to lower ranked police officers in Manipur. Recently elections had been concluded in Manipur and change of government happened. And now they are going to give power to this lower level police officers to use this UAPA. UAPA is nothing but Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So because of this, whatever the rights bodies are there in this Manipur, they started protest against this move of government. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under governance point of view, and even you can see this topic from GS paper 3 under defense as well. And next topic is state support key for tribal welfare, says Social Justice Ministry report. Ministry of Social Justice came up with a report, and this report says that government, especially state government support is very important for this tribal people for implementation of tribal sub-plans. Here you have to see what is this tribal sub-plans, what does this report exactly said, and what is the way forward. And this topic is very important from your mains, and you may get a question in your prelims related to this tribal sub-plan also. And this is important from your GS paper 2 under governance, and these tribal people comes under integral part of our society. So here you have to see that topic from society and social issues point of view also from GS1 and GS2. And next topic is high heat. There is one editorial related to this high heat, and especially in the summer we are going to have more temperature, and this article is saying that we have to focus on heat action plans, HAP. Here you have to know about what are those HAP, what are the important provisions under that HAP, and how government have to take some steps to overcome the situation now. And this topic is important from geography point of view from GS paper 1. And next topic is what are safer fireworks alternatives. As you know, in the last 1 week we saw like 2 incidents. One is in Tamil Nadu and one is in Kerala, fireworker blast. So because of this, there is one article in your text and context, it talks about which are safer fireworks alternatives. Here you have to see that. That is from science and technology point of view from GS paper 3. So all these are the articles now we are going to see in this class. Okay, read out the title guys. What can you see here? One image. What can you see exactly in this image? We can see flock of ducks and we can see a river. So actually this image is saying that semi-nomadic tribal families of Andhra Pradesh Nellore district, they are eking out a livelihood by rearing ducks along Munneru river. And they are moving from one village to another village with their flocks. These families depend entirely on duck rearing. Okay, I want to tell how UPSC can ask a question in this image. Actually, this kind of image also appeared in 2022 and 2023. At that time, they showed not this ducks, but they showed camels. And if you see your PYQs of 2023, there was a question regarding Karial camel, and in that they gave 3 statements. One statement is camel can swim in water. That means if you are getting this kind of images in the newspaper, UPSC can ask a question on that animal. Because of that only I took this image. And at that time everyone was shocked in the exam hall that camel is present in desert and why it will swim. But that is the only camel that can swim. Okay, so like that, this year in our Republic Day parade, they showcased Bassetron camel, which is having two humps. Two Bassetron camels have been showcased in our Republic Day parade on this 26th January of 2026. Already UPSC asked a question regarding this camel once in 2023. That means in 2026 you may get a question on Bassetron camel. So in that way, if you see your PYQs, you will understand which is important and which is not important. And here they may ask you about this ducks. And here they gave about semi-nomadic tribes of AP. So here what you have to see? You have to see major tribes of AP state. Why tribes is important this year? You know, Great Nicobar project. We are displacing completely Shompen and Nicobaris. And CDS, in UPSC CDS exam also, they asked about the tribes of Andaman and Nicobar. So in UPSC, there is a chance of asking that question because it is very important topic. If it is important, then only UPSC will be giving question, or else it will be not giving a question in the CDS. So how can you expect a question here? They may ask about not only tribes of Andaman Nicobar, they may ask about the tribes of different parts of our country. So here in this image, they said about semi-nomadic tribes. So here you have to make the list of tribes in AP. Okay, that is the one area that you have to focus. And second area is in that Nicobaris and Shompen. Nicobaris is not PVTG. That is the only tribe which is not PVTG in Andaman Nicobar. And Shompen is PVTG. So you may get a question on PVTGs. Consider the following tribes. They will give you the 4 to 5 tribe names and they will ask you which of the above are PVTGs. In India, we have majorly how many PVTGs? And this is question 2018. They asked question about PVTGs. Consider the following statements regarding PVTGs. Under that, there was one statement that was like 75 PVTGs are present in our country. So as of now in India, we have 75 PVTGs. So like that, you have to interconnect with our PYQs and what is happening now. Accordingly, you have to make notes. That is a way that you have to read for your prelims. Are you understanding? Because we don't know which question will come in UPSC. Prelims especially, it is highly unpredictable. But how can we predict something and how can we prepare according to our examination is, you have to see PYQs, you have to see current affairs and you have to mingle up with whenever you are reading your static also. If you see PYQs, you will know exactly where you have to focus more and where you should not. Are you understanding? In that way, you have to mold your preparation. Everything will be not spoon feeding here, right? We cannot spoon feed also in this examination. If it is 10th class, intermediate or graduation, we can expect that questions only will come. We will make you to rote learn and you will get result. But UPSC is not like that. No, it is a competitive examination. So here we cannot expect. Vast syllabus is there, but they have to give only 100 questions. They also have to compromise on some topics, yes or no. So here, which is the utmost important, they will give questions on that, right? So in that way, you have to analyze PYQs, in which areas you are focusing, and in that area also, which point they are stressing about, and you have to catch that, okay? Now let us see here, they said about, first one is semi-nomadic tribes here and next they showed about flocks of ducks and next one is Munneru river. And this time you may get question on ducks. Why? Because recently in the last 6 months we saw about avian influenza. Can you recall it or not? Avian influenza which is affecting our poultry sector in our country. What is that avian influenza? Influenza in birds and it can be spread very rapidly. We cannot control it. So what can be done to prevent that spread? Only culling of animals. There is nothing but just we have to twist the neck of this bird so that it will die and we will go and we will do everything insemination like that, right? So that is the only way to stop the spread of avian influenza. And I don't know whether you can recall it or not. Because of avian influenza, many migratory birds had been died in India. And even crows also. Regarding this crows also, we discussed some articles, especially in Tamil Nadu, many crows are dying. Even Tamil Nadu government came up with advisory, like what to do if they saw any dead body of a crow. They should not touch. There will be contamination. No idea. Recall all those things, guys. So because of all this chain of events, you can expect question related to ducks, and because of Great Nicobar project, you can expect a question on tribes. And even in this sentence also, we are going to have a separate column for denotified and semi-nomadic tribes. Yes or no? So for that reason, these tribes will be important or not? Now what is your work is, you have to collect some facts regarding ducks and avian influenza. I already gave regarding that content in your current affairs magazines. So just, if you have already read, go through that, just revise that avian influenza. And you have to collect some facts regarding this ducks. And next one here is, you have to say about this Munneru river. Are you understanding what I am saying? Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Munneru river. Munneru river is a left bank tributary of Krishna. Very important. In our yesterday's class itself, I said how you have to make the notes for this river topic. You have to see tributaries, left bank, right bank, where it originated, in which states it will be flowing, and if there is any dispute related to that river, you have to see with which state it is having dispute. I said about Interstate River Dispute Act. I said about Article 262, that is Interstate River Tribunal also. We discussed all those topics in yesterday's class. If you see here this river Munneru, it is left bank tributary of river Krishna. Where it originates? It originates near Narsampet in Warangal district of Telangana. That means it is starting in Telangana and it is flowing towards AP, and in AP this Munneru river will be joining river Krishna. Okay. Yeah. Now let us see the next article. Look at this title, guys. Read out the title. India, Egypt discuss plan to boost bilateral defense cooperation in Cairo meet. What does it mean? And tell me the keyword. What is the keyword? It is about India-Egypt relations. Yes or no? This article is talking about India-Egypt relations. In which subject you will be saying about India's relation with other country? In international relations from GS paper 2. First of all, what is your work? You have to see where is this Egypt located. Tell me in which continent we have this Egypt. Is it in Asia, Africa, or Europe, South America, North America, Australia, Antarctica? Okay, what is the importance of Egypt? Egypt is famous for? Pyramids. Okay, next. Egypt is famous for which river? River Nile. What is the speciality of river Nile? It is the longest river. Okay. Now tell me, guys, this article is saying that we are boosting our relations with Egypt related to defense. Okay. Now tell me, guys, why we have to improve relation with Egypt? What is the need of Egypt for us? Are you understanding my question? So this article title is saying that we are improving relations with Egypt related to defense cooperation. Why we need Egypt for defense cooperation? What do you think? Is that necessary? Why we need this cooperation with Egypt? What do you think? Come on, tell me. It's very important. Okay, leave that. And now we are going to we are having meeting from April 20 to April 20. We had this meeting April 20 to 22 in this Cairo. Now tell me, if we are having any meet, what kind of discussions had been done related to defense? What do you think? India met with Egypt in Cairo, and we had talks between India and Egypt from 20th April to 22nd April. Now you guys, just based on your knowledge, tell me what kind of discussion had been done. You know nothing, but even though, tell me if something had talked in that meet? What are the important points they talked about this defense? Come on, think in that way. Yes, technology. Okay, next. Maybe they talked about technology. Accepted. Next. Come on, think. You can do it. Defense cooperation means what all will come? Okay, security purpose. Where exactly security is required for India now? Yes, near Strait of Hormuz, and we have Suez Canal there. Yes, in that area, yes, we need security for our Indian vessels because that route is very important for our Indian trade. And do you know this Horn of Africa? Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia. That area is very famous for piracy. What is piracy? Those countries are not having proper resources, no economy. What they'll do, whatever the ships comes in that route, they will go and they will hijack this ships. Then they will be robbing whatever the things which are there in that ship. That is called as piracy. So if this piracy happens in that region, can we ensure security for ships in that region? No, for sure, to improve the security, we need to have the help from this Egypt. Next, come on. One is technology, another is security. Any other points that you want to add? Mutual cooperation, what? Critical circumstances. Can you give me example? Strait of Hormuz, where it is located? Is Egypt is? Okay, near to the Strait of Hormuz. It is very far, no? We can divert the route. Okay. Okay, we can store ours. Okay. Military? Yes, exercises, training purpose. Okay, next. Okay, they also need help from India. Okay. Okay, let us see this article. So this article is saying that 11th meeting of India and Egypt Joint Defense Committee held recently in this Cairo. That is from 20th April to 22nd April 2026. And they came up with some key agreements in this meet. The first one is they came up with bilateral defense cooperation plan from 2026 to 2027, how they have to cooperate with each other. They came up with a clear-cut plan. In that plan, they focused on military interaction of Egyptian military with Indian military, and we have to strengthen or intensify our joint training exchanges. Like we are having lots of exercises between India and US, India, France, and recently India, Sri Lanka. So like that, with India and Egypt also, we'll be having some kind of exercises. In that, we are going to train both of this military. And next one is we are going to enhance maritime security cooperation. And next one is we are going to increase bilateral exercises, and we are going to collaborate related to this defense production and technology. So if Egypt is having advanced technology compared to that of India, we can get that technology, and now we can produce that equipments in our country. We have DRDO, we have Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So like that, whatever the companies which are present in our country, which are producing this defense equipments, we can get that technology and we can produce in our country, so that it will be boosting our economy. It will be boosting our Atmanirbhar Bharat in self-defense, and even it promotes Make in India concept. Okay. So in this way, this defense cooperation is very important between India and Egypt. And this one is they also came up with dedicated defense industry cooperation plan between India and Egypt. Okay, and this kind of defense related ties are very important for our strategic partnership between India and Egypt. So now tell me guys, why they are focusing on defense cooperation now? The exact reasons. On this you may get a 10-mark question. Recently India, Egypt came up with improving of bilateral defense cooperation. in the light of this statement, what are the reasons behind this cooperation and what is the impact? Like that, they will be asking you reasons why exactly now we are going with this kind of cooperation with Egypt, and this one is what will be the impact in future. So first important reason here is Egypt is controlling one important choke point, that is Suez Canal. So here, because of this importance of this choke point which is connecting Indo-Pacific and Mediterranean Sea region, so if there is anything which happens wrong in this area, like what is happening in this Iran Strait of Hormuz, obviously it will be affecting trade, global trade will be affecting. So if you are having good ties with Egypt, obviously we can maintain proper trade security for India. That is a one important reason, because we learned a lesson from the Strait of Hormuz. It is affecting our oil, diesel, petrol, overall food inflation, and even LPG crisis, that we learned. So because of this, now we are maintaining good relations with this Egypt, so that if something wrong happens in this area, it should not impact our trade. And next one here is counter-terrorism and regional stability. And actually, whenever two countries are coming together, if they are having the common concerns, then only they will come together. Yes or no? If my interest and your interest is same, then only we will become friends. Whenever our wavelength matches, then only we will become friends. If wavelength is different, if your interest is different and my interest is different, means can we sit together and can we continue the friendship? No. In the same way, in international relations, we can apply this formula. If two countries are having same concerns, they will come together to discuss about that concerns and they will find out certain solutions. Actually, in this Africa, which is the largest desert which is present, Sahara Desert, and this countries through which this Sahara Desert spreads is called as Sahel region, and this Sahel region is very famous for terrorism. And India is also having problem of terrorism from this Pakistan, right? So here one more important thing, now we are having this kind of defense engagement with this Egypt is to counter terrorism. That is the second important reason. And next one here is defense industrial synergy. India wants to expand its exports of defense to other countries, yes or no? Till the recent past, India used to import lots of defense related equipments from other countries. Even today also we are importing. But recently we started exporting of this defense equipment. Which is that equipment we started exporting to other country? BrahMos? Yes. So here, because of this idea of increasing of expand, so now we need to get co-production. If other countries are helping for our country, means obviously we can increase our production levels. And if you are getting assistance related to technology, obviously we can produce more and new equipments, such that we can also export more defense related equipments to other countries. That is also one important reason here. So we want to get help for co-production, so that we can improve Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, Make in India, so that we can also modernize our armored forces and we can increase the capacity of our armored forces. That is the third important reason. And next one here is, if you say the history, from 2021 onwards, we are having this kind of meets and we are having lots of exercises that we are conducting between India and Egypt. For example, we have exercise cyclone, desert warrior, etc. So here, if you are having this kind of agreements, obviously we can improve trust between India and Egypt. And next one here is, we can also improve partnership with African countries as well. So these are the reasons why we came up with this kind of defense cooperation partnership with Egypt. Now you guys tell me what is the impact. I didn't add here. Now tell me what is the impact of this kind of agreements. Is that good or bad? Good. We can improve what technology? We can produce more. That will finally contribute to our GDP. If we are exporting more, what happens? Whatever the trade deficit we have, we can decrease it or not? We can decrease that trade deficit. And next one is, we can achieve our target of Viksit Bharat by 2047, because India will become the largest exporter of exports. And next, any other things that you want to add? We can modernize our forces so that we will be all time ready for a war with other countries, with enemy countries whenever it is possible, and India can showcase its power in this global south. So these are the advantages of this kind of partnerships or cooperation with other countries, and we can increase even security, we can increase trade. Okay, say this title guys, read out the title. Rights body opposes notification allowing UAPA powers to lower ranked police officers in Manipur. Okay, what do you think? What do you understand by reading this title? Come on. Keyword is UAPA undoubtedly, and the state they refer to here is Manipur. Now tell me guys, what happened in Manipur in the recent past? Do you know about Manipur crisis? Tell me, Manipur exactly in which part of our country it is there? In northeastern, okay, northeastern part. Okay. Can you tell me what is the problem in Manipur? Which tribal groups are fighting? Yes, Metis and Kukis are two tribal groups. They are fighting together. What is the reason why these people are fighting? What is the reason? Yes. Who are asking reservation? So actually, northeastern part is having more hills. Yes or no? It is called as Patkaibar. Do you know this? Whenever this Indo-Australian plate moved towards northward, whenever it hit this Eurasian plate, whatever the sediments which are there in this Tatis Sea, that had been elevated as Himalayas. And this also extended towards this northeastern part. But here the height is less. They are called as Patkaibam or northeastern hills. And majorly in this northeastern part of our country, in this northeastern states, they have hills. So on these hills, who will be there? Tribal people will be residing on the tops of the hills, and in the plains or the valley people, normal people will be residing. So actually this Metis are the people who will live in this valley region, and these Kukis are living in this tops of the hills. And these Kukis, they are tribals. They comes under the scheduled tribes. But this Metis, they will not come under the scheduled tribes, and they already have the good representation, the political things. But now these Metis are saying that we need to get this reservation under this ST category. Now these people are fighting against this Metis that already your representation is very good, and if you are getting reservation again under this ST category, that will violate our rights. Our representation will become small. So because of this protest had been erupted, and that turned into violent pace between this Metis and Kukis. And many people in this Manipur, to save their lives, they came out of this Manipur. The situation was very bad at that time. Okay, now this is the issue here. So because of this, what happened? To maintain law and order, president's rule has been imposed in Manipur. Yes or no? Yes, what is president rule and which article talks about it? Article 356. What is Article 352? So here related to emergency we have three articles. Article 352 plus 4 Article 356 plus 4 Article 360. These are the three articles in our Indian Constitution talks about emergency provisions. This Article 352 talks about national emergency. It talks about state emergency or president's rule. It talks about financial emergency. Because of instability, because of law and order problem, in Manipur, president rule had been imposed, and recently that had been removed. So here, president rule is very important. For that reason only I am telling all these things. You may get a question on emergency provisions for sure in this year prelims. You have to see thoroughly national emergency and president's rule. Okay, you have to see differences in how much time it should be passed, what is the majority that is required, how can they remove this, what is the role of president, what is the role of governor. You have to see these articles clearly this time. Okay, and after removal of this president rule, they went for elections and new government established in Manipur. That is a story that we know. And now, here this article is talking about UAPA. Now tell me guys, what is the full form of UAPA? Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. It is a full form of UAPA. That means government want to control unlawful activities in that area. For that reason, they implemented this UAPA. And actually, this UAPA will give power to a National Investigation Agency, NIA. NIA, you know, right? You have seen many movies in that NIA is there, right? So here NIA is giving extreme powers to control unlawful activities in our country, like they have to prevent human trafficking, and they have to prevent this kind of terrorism related activities, everything they have to control. But here NIA is very powerful agency, right? NIA is very powerful agency and it has to prevent this kind of unlawful activities in our country. But now this article is saying that lower ranked police officer, even head constable now have the power to impose this unlawful activities of prevention act now in Manipur. So if even this lower rank people are getting this power to arrest anyone without any trail for 180 days, without giving certain warrant, they can go and they can search. So if this kind of extreme powers are given to this lower ranked police officers, do you think that it may lead to misuse or not? Yes, obviously it may lead to misuse. So because of this, the rights of people of that Manipur will be getting violated or not? So because of this, now this rights body, whatever the human rights bodies are there in this Manipur, they are protesting. Are you understanding the concept? Why government came up with this? To maintain law and order because of this reservation problem in Manipur. For that reason, government came up with this extension of this UAPA powers to low level police ranks. But even though here it will leads to the violation of people's right because of misuse. So because of this, now these bodies are protesting. Are you understanding this title? Now let us see in detail. Okay, context says that rights body in Manipur has opposed this notification of government. They said that Section 43A of UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967, now it is allowing this low-ranked law enforcement officers, that is nothing but simply police officers, to arrest people and search and seize property across the state, and that too with immediate effect. So because of this, these people are protesting. Now let us see what exactly is this Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. On this you may get a question, because from last 1 year this Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and preventive detention is in news because of Kashmir, because of Delhi issue. Yes. So because of this year UAPA and preventive detention under article and even article 22 will become very important, guys. You have to see article 22, what is preventive detention and what is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. These three are very important areas. If you are not following this and if you are not revising this, means in the examination hall you will regret, guys. For sure I am telling this, because UPSC asked many times questions regarding preventive detention. Fundamental rights is a favorite topic of UPSC, and as soon as they asked many times questions regarding this UAPA, if you check PYQs you will know that trend. So because of that reason only I am telling this 3 areas that you can expect a question and you have to be very careful. Okay, if you see about this Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, when we enacted, we came up with this act in year 1967. Why? At that time we had lots of secessionist movements and as well as anti-national activities. To control that kind of activities, our government at that time came up with this UAPA. And later on, we amended that. We made changes to that act several times based on the needs. Because nowadays what is happening, increased use of internet, increased use of digital spaces, you know about dark internet, dark web, what are happening here. So here when we came up with this act in 1967, at that time they didn't address about what exactly the present challenges we have. That means whatever the acts we came up already, we have to change them according to our needs, according to the new crimes, according to the new advancements. So because of this, we amended that several times, and most recently we amended in year 2019, guys. And what are the provisions which are controlled under this Unlawful Activities Prevention Act? We are focusing on controlling of terrorist financing, cyber terrorism, individuals designation, and even we can seize the property. That means we can confiscate the property of that individual or of that organization. And it empowers, it will give full powers for NIA, National Investigation Agency. And now NIA can investigate and prosecute cases across our country related to this UAPA. And the power of this UAPA is even it can award death penalty and life imprisonment. They are the highest punishments for any kind of terrorist related acts. And next one here is one more important point you have to remember is this act will also allow the detention of suspect without any charge or without a trial for 180 days. Till 180 days we can keep that guy in jail without any trial. Okay guys. Okay, now let us come to this what exactly the notification of Government of Manipur. Government of Manipur came up with notification on 22nd April by State Home Department, and now it said that yes, we are going to extend this authority under UAPA section 43, and now this notification says that we empower all officers not below head constable in civil or armed forces to conduct arrest, searches, seizures based on the reason to believe an offence under UAPA has occurred. That means the people who are above this head constable rank now all are empowered to implement this UAPA. If they are getting any doubt, they can bring any person and they can keep in the jail without trial for 180 days, and even they can confiscate their property and they can do investigation. So all these powers are given for this lower level police people now in this Manipur. Okay, and they said that this notification will come into immediate effect. Okay, and now they circulated this kind of thing, this notification to every district of this Manipur. Because of this it is in news. Okay, now you guys tell me what is the impact of this kind of move by the government. Is that good or bad? Everything will have two faces, positives will be there and negatives will be there. So tell me what are the positives of this thing guys. What are the positives? Come on. What are the positives? Is that good or bad? We can control this kind of violence. We can save the lives of the people. Next. We can maintain law and order. Then what are the negatives guys? Many a times misuse can happen and even security concerns. People will not feel that they are safe. Yes, sometimes it will lead to the violation of human rights of people guys. That's it. See this next article. Read out the title. State support key for tribal welfare, says Social Justice Ministry report. What does it mean? What is the keyword? Keyword is Social Justice Ministry report. What is this report is saying? For welfare of tribals, support of state is very important. That is the meaning of this, right? So recently, Social Justice Ministry report released, and this report is saying that for tribal welfare, state should play a very important role and state should provide the support. Then only we can ensure that tribal welfare is happening in the state. Okay. And I said this time tribals will be very important, especially see about this PVTGs and see about what is the meaning of denotified tribes and see about tribes in Andaman and Nicobar region. So these are the three important areas that you have to focus this time guys. Don't forget. Okay, now let us see this article. It is saying that recent report from Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is saying that state government plays a pivotal role in advancing tribal welfare programs nationwide, because in the different states we have different tribal people, and these tribal people, they have their own customs and they have their own rituals. Can government can interfere in them? And even they have to protect their culture. It is a fundamental duty also. Scientific temper, protection of culture, heritage, everything. And even we have fundamental rights as well, which is given to each and every citizen of our country. So here, the problem with these tribal people here is they are very vulnerable and they are exploited people. Why? Because if you go back to modern history era, at that time, whenever India was under control of Britishers, what happened? Normally these tribal peoples, they are present in the forest areas and they depend on majorly forest produce, right? And even today also many people, they are in the lower economic strata and they depend on only this forest produce. But in the name of development, industrialization, mining, everything, we are encroaching their places and we are relocating them from their original place to another place. And these people, they have very low literacy level and they don't have proper skill. If they are coming outside from their traditional living places with the mainstream society, can they survive? Even though if they have to survive because of lack of skill, what they will do? They will do low skilled work. Whenever they are doing this low skilled work as agriculture laborers or like construction workers or daily wage laborers, what happened? Whatever the amount of money they will get is very less. And what about standard of living? They cannot maintain high standard of living. They will have the low standard of living. And it is a responsibility of government to ensure welfare of each and every people, right? So for that reason, government came up with tribal subplans. Okay, here we have to see what exactly is the tribal subplans and what are the objectives of this tribal subplans. And now this report is saying that the tribal subplans are not properly implementing at the at this ground level, so that the targeted people are not getting proper benefits from this government schemes. Now states has to interfere and state has to ensure that the targeted tribal person has to get this benefits from the government. That is about this article. Are you understanding? Okay, now let us see the details. So Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, it is focusing on coordinated efforts between central schemes and state implementation for ST upliftment. For that reason, government came up with a tribal subplan. But the problem with this tribal subplan is not properly implemented, and even whatever the funds allocated by the government for this tribal subplans, that are not reaching this targeted people. These are the two important loopholes which are highlighted by this report. Okay, if you say about this tribal subplan, it is a plan or a strategy which introduced by Indian government for what? Socio-economic development of this tribal people. For the socio-economic development of tribal people, they came up with a plan or a strategy, and it is called as tribal subplan. And this tribal subplan has an important aim to reduce the gap between scheduled tribes and general population. Normally, we comes under mainstream society. So, whatever the gap which is there between this mainstream society with this tribal people, whatever this gap is there, we have to reduce that gap. That is the main aim of this tribal subplan. So, what they are focusing on? They are focusing on, first of all, whatever the exploitation which is happening for these tribals, we have to reduce that exploitation. And second one is we have to go for development of this tribal people. And next one is we have to reduce poverty, unemployment in this tribal people. And government has to provide financial security for this tribal people. And they are focusing on improving of overall life of this tribal people by providing proper health services, education service. That is nothing but basic things, whatever they need for sustenance of life, government has to provide that. So these are nothing but our tribal subplan, which is focusing on overall socio-economic development of this tribal people. And this report is saying that there is no proper grants, first one. And next one here is whatever the funds you are getting, they are underutilizing these funds under this tribal subplan. And this report is suggesting that we need more state capacity building for implementation of schemes under this tribal subplan, and they have to go for increased residential schools for this tribal people, vocational training and income generation activities. So this is about this report. Okay, see this article guys, what it is saying. High heat, India must address the underlying vulnerability to hot weather. Okay, so in this first paragraph, entirely they gave about the data. What is the data they gave here is, first one is, IMD said that this time we are going to have El Nino. Because of this, obviously there will be rising of temperature. And they said that in some parts of AP, Gujarat, already now temperature had been reached beyond 40 degrees centigrade mark. That means extreme heat had been already started. And especially local conditions in coastal areas is very worse, because in coastal areas we have more humidity. So because of this, it will be having negative impact on the health of the people. That is the next point they said. And next one here is, now nights are like very warm, even we cannot sleep by switching on the fan, right? I think you are experiencing this heat in your hostels. So whenever warmer nights are there, whatever the injury which happened to our physical health, that cannot be repaired very fast. Normally whenever you are not feeling well, what doctor will advise? Take rest. That means whenever you are taking rest, your body will not do certain activities. You will be lying on the bed, right? At that time what happens? Fast regeneration of your cells will happen, because cells will divide very fastly whenever entire atmosphere everything is good. But if now whenever we are having warmer nights, for example, you know, the people who are working outside, at that time, if in the daytime whenever the heat is more, their body cells will be getting affected. And at night whenever they are coming and they are sleeping, if the temperature everything is good, means they will recover whatever the impact that happened in the morning time, they can recover in the night time. But now because of warmer nights, the body will not recover properly. So because of this, again next day morning they have to get up and they have to go for work, so that there will be negative impact will be more in that people who are working outside, especially under the sun. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said here. And next, one more important point they said is, we are also going to have thunderstorms in some areas, and normally we will get certain rainfall, but because of water availability is not there in the water reservoirs, that is also one problem, that may not form the clouds, that will not cause rainfall. So because of this extreme heat we can see further. And next they said that people who are working in this high heat, they will be getting some problems like cardiovascular diseases, and around 247 billion work hours will be lost because of this heat. In our yesterday's class also we discussed that in some vulnerable areas, out of 365 days, 250 days will be like they cannot work because of this high heat. In the same way, the same details which are given till here. Now this article is saying that yes, we have some early warnings, we are having lots of reports which are saying that yes, we are going to have more heat. Now government has to implement HAPs guys, very important. What are these HAPs? Heat action plans in the states. What are these heat action plans? Normally in summer season you will be seeing on the roads they will be placing big pots and they will be trying to provide free water facility. Yes or no? So here government has to provide more shade regions under which people can take rest during the peak hours. Government has to try to provide proper water facilities. And the next one here is, government has to focus on food security, because in the summer season if people cannot go outside for work, they will not get proper food. So government has to provide proper food security for these people. And next one is, government has to focus on how to address this kind of vulnerabilities. Okay, and next one here is, government has to increase the funding related to this. And next one is, whatever the essential service or their government has to try to provide them doorstep services, especially during this peak heat, so that it can reduce income penalties. And next one is we have to shift away from this fossil fuels, guys. Those are the some important steps taken, they have to taken by the government so that we can overcome this problem. But now your work is you have to see exactly about what are these heat action plans, and in your state what are the steps will be implemented. For example, you are from AP, which kind of steps government is implementing to control this heat in Telangana, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu. So you have to see based on your states, because that may be an interview question. Okay, so in interview also they will be asking you what kind of heat action plans implemented by your state. Can you tell me 3 important points? Like that they will be asking you interview question also, you have to focus on that. And say this article, guys, what are safer fireworks alternatives? Recently in Tamil Nadu we saw this disaster, and even recently in Kerala also we saw this disaster. Within a gap of just 2 to 3 days, I guess, we saw these 2 articles in last week. Okay, now you guys tell me, if this kind of disasters are happening, is that good for the people? Not only good for the people, but even it will be having impact on our environment, right? So here this article is saying that what are the safer fireworks? Rather than using this traditional fireworks, we have to use this green crackers. That is the thing which mainly said. If this kind of accident is happening, so what are the fireworks they already made and kept? They will create lots of sound. No, whenever this bursting of crackers, you know, on Diwali, on this New Year celebrations, and Dasra celebrations like that, you can see how much sound they will create. So because of this sound, who will be getting afraid of? Animals, yes? Yes or no? In many movies also, if there is any attack of elephants in their crops, what they will do? They just simply make this sound by firing of crackers, right? So here this article is saying that because of this incident which happened in this Kerala region, that led to very high noise pollution, and because of this blast of crackers in that disaster, around 122.4 decibels of noise had been created. Now tell me guys, what is the minimum decibels that can be heard by our human ear? Any idea? Decibels? Normally sound is measured in decibels. So what is the maximum sound that we can hear? Have you been to theaters? In that theaters also they will mention the sound 80 decibels, 120. Yes or no? Not only going to theater, just see all those things, how much sound they will maximum, how much sound they will keep, everything you have to know. No, without knowing that, how can you go blindly to this theater? So now onwards, what are the things that you are doing? So just observe what is exactly that. So here in this accident, around 122.4 decibels of sound had been released. So because of this, that had a lot of risk to animals, even hospitals, and infant brain development. Have you ever seen whenever the mother or a pregnant woman, she is carrying a baby in the womb, they will not allowed to go outside where there is a very heavy sound, especially DJs. Nowadays, if the DJs are organizing, even building is shaking, no? So if that kind of sound is there, means what happens? Is that safe for the baby in the fetus, in the womb of the mother? Not at all, it is not at all safe. Even child below 1 year will not allowed to take outside where the sound is very high, because in the first 1,000 days of the baby, that is a very crucial period where the brain development will happen at a complete level. So at that time, if the baby is exposed to this kind of high sound, means it will be affecting the brain development of the baby. So here, because of this sound, it had lot of impact on animals, even hospitals nearby, because elderly people who are having this kind of heart attack, heart related problems, if they are hearing this kind of sound, will they stay? No. And even there is impact on this infant brain development. So experts are now saying that rather than this crackers which are creating more sound, we have to move towards alternatives which are releasing less sound, and cold spark technology. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said here. So here, if you see PYQs of your science and technology, from science biology point of view, they asked a question related to decibels. Sound is measured in which unit? One question that is in 1986 or 1989, I guess. The question was on decibels. And this one is they asked about what is the minimum decibels and what is the maximum decibels that a human ear can hear. So you have to see what is the minimum sound and what is the maximum sound, guys. Okay, that is a basic thing. You may get question because of this kind of instance. Again, they may ask about decibels. Okay. Yeah, now let us see the questions, guys. See the question, the first one is, what was the primary legal effect of Manipur's government notification regarding the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act on police powers? Option A is it completely removed the need for any sanction before prosecution under UAPA, and B is it transferred all UPA investigations in Manipur to a central agency. C is it empowers certain lower ranked police officers to investigate UAP offences with prior approval. Third, last one is it allowed any citizen to directly register UAPA case in court. One thing I want to say here is whenever you are getting this kind of ABCD options, minimum 2 you can eliminate by using extreme words. Minimum 2. You will be stucking with only 2 options. And if you are having knowledge and if you apply common sense, then you can select one right option in that. I'll tell how. So if you see this first statement, it is saying completely. It's an extreme statement. To completely means all. It completely removed any sanction before prosecution. No, it doesn't remove the sanctions completely. This completely word is extreme here. And this one is it transferred all UAPA investigations in Manipur to central agency. No, all is one more extreme word. Here you can see it allowed any citizen to directly register UAPA case in court. You are asking about court. So if they want to file any case, they have to go to police station, and from that police station, they will refer that case to court. Have you ever seen that directly a person can approach the court? That is a basic common sense. So what is the answer? Answer C is the right. So in that way, you have to apply your common sense. Whenever you are reading the statements, you have to be very careful. You have to understand the meaning. So if it is extreme, then keep it aside. If it is narrow, keep it aside. Only you have to take the broad and general statements. Always general statements will be right. Okay. And see this next question, guys. It is PYQ. Consider the following statements. First statement is thickness of troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. Second statement, at equator heat is transported to greater heights by strong conventional currents. Which of the following is correct of the above statements? Whenever you are reading geography, conceptual clarity is very important because you will be getting questions on concepts. Already geography is going on. You completed your climatology, you completed your atmosphere, and I gave you main question on this atmosphere and different layers, right? Now tell me guys, what are the layers of atmosphere? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, ionosphere. So it is talking about what? Troposphere. So where this troposphere is there? If you see, this is Earth's surface. So here the first one is troposphere. You will be drawing in this way, right? Troposphere will be drawn in this way. Here we have 0 degrees equator, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees north, 90 degrees south here. At equator, what happened? This region will comes under tropical region. Yes, Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, that is tropical region. So in this region, what happened? Direct vertical sun rays will fall, so that we can see maximum heat will be there in this tropical region compared to that of this polar region. Yes, at that time what happened? Whenever we are receiving maximum heat, air will expand more and it will goes very high. Here if it is 5 kilometers, here it will be 18 kilometers. In your notes, I think you might have wrote troposphere ranges from 5 to 18 kilometers. Why? Because at this equator we have more heat because of vertical sun rays. That is the first statement they gave. Thickness of troposphere at equator is greater compared to that of poles. Yes or no? See this image? Equator thickness is more here and here it is less. First statement is right or wrong? Correct. And see the second statement, at equator what happens? Heat is transported to greater heights because it is receiving more. Yes or no? It is right. So whether this second statement is explaining this first statement or not? Yes. Why it is height? Because heat is transported to the greater heights. Then what will be the option? Option A. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Even this statement 2 is explaining statement 1. Okay, in this way you have to apply your concept in your geography. Geography you will be getting mostly conceptual based question. If your concept is not clear, you cannot do this kind of questions. Okay. That's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you have not yet been subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe guys, and I wish you all the best.